Yes, that is an official message sent out today by the President of the United States. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings, to the We Are Change news show where, where it's better to be informed than, effed in the B. Family-friendly show, but there's a lot of stuff out there that just F's you pretty significantly, and the best way to get F'd is to keep your head in the sand, is to be an ignorant idiot and not know what really is happening in the world, which we try to combat here every single day. A fight that is not easy, as of course there is massive censorship of just, relatively important, even common sense information right now, with celebrities like Rob Schneider even being blocked for saying things like, vitamin C, take it. Fear propaganda, don't take it. Linking, of course, to some information to how the South Koreans are actually fighting this virus with vitamin C. So yeah, as you can see, we definitely have an uphill battle, and the way that we fight it is, of course, by being sponsored by products that we believe in. This is actually an emergency food supply company that we were working with for years, even way before all this coronavirus craziness nonsense that's been going on. And these products do have a 25-year shelf life. I personally enjoy them. They are pretty tasty. And you're most likely not going to need this for any kind of emergency. And I personally use this when I go to festivals or conferences where food is not readily available. Again, you're probably going to be better off going to buy some rice and beans for emergency supplies. But if you're lazy like me, it's always convenient to have something in your house that you don't have to do a lot of work for. So yeah, if you're interested, check these guys out. Your support goes towards this independent media organization, and also be aware that they are experiencing a delay in shipping. When we first started talking about them, it was 6 weeks. Now it's 9 weeks. Some people may get their orders within 1 or 2 days, but again, just be aware that there is a significant delay in getting these. So yeah, right now let's talk about the very dangerous disease spreading all over the world that is hurting humanity, and that of course is our modern political system. As of course we're seeing very significant moves being made right now for the 2020 presidential election, with many big candidates dropping out recently, like Mike Bloomberg, that just tweeted out this kind of raw video of Star Wars, which it seems like only Luis Mensch really liked. Everyone else is just voicing their large discontent against this billionaire plutocrat. While of course Donald Trump, the President of the United States, responded in his own unique way. And even though I definitely disagree with Donald Trump, it definitely does feel like he has professional comedy writers helping him out with his tweets, because they are pretty funny, but I'm not a fan of his politics. Nor am I of Elizabeth Warren, that of course just dropped out moments ago, even though a couple hours she was talking about how she's a fighter and she won't quit. Well, she just quit. This after the person who claimed to be Native American to gain access to prestigious universities all throughout the country had a very poor showing during Super Tuesday, and now everyone is waiting to see who she will be endorsing. Personally, after seeing Elizabeth Warren's attacks coordinated with CNN against Bernie Sanders, I do believe that she is most likely going to take Joe Biden as the person that she supports from here, for the possibility that she might be his VP. Since, again, if Joe Biden is selected here by the establishment, which it definitely looks like he is being selected, he's going to need someone from an opposite political viewpoint to galvanize the most amount of voters, and Elizabeth Warren would definitely represent that. I do believe the bad blood between Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders is real, but I do believe at the end of the day, Elizabeth Warren is doing what most politicians do, and that is waiting to see what best deal she could get out of both of these candidates who are now sucking up to her on social media, tweeting how great she is and how they loved her. Meanwhile, they were just at each other's throats a couple hours ago. Tulsi Gabbard is still in the race, now having, of course, 2 delegates, but of course, as the race tightens, it definitely looks like this is just a race between Joe and Bernie. And even though Bernie does get screwed over by the establishment, he's still just yet another politician. And again, when he gets screwed, we report on it honestly. But as I've said many times, we are not fans of his policies. He has flip-flopped many times. Talked about previously before about the mind-destroying school system. He talked about previously how open borders was a Koch brother proposal to screw over the middle class. He slammed other candidates that deceptively used Barack Obama in their advertisements. Right after, of course, he did it himself just moments ago with his campaign, launching a video where it looks like Barack Obama is endorsing him. Of course, singing the praises of Barack O'Drone Bomber and flip-flopping on all of these major issues. That, of course, shows you that he's just another politician out for himself, trying to get power over you. I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, but you know what? There's a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters like, whoa, we're going to get you. And there's a lot of you guys. And you know what? At least I'm being honest with you, right? And if you don't like me for who I genuinely am, that's your problem, not mine. Now, moving forward, and of course, the news that can't be avoided anywhere that honestly I'm kind of sick about talking about. And that is the news that is sparking a lot of fear and anxiety all across the country, even though most likely you're going to be fine. And that, of course, is the latest news around the coronavirus. As cases in New York State have just doubled, Seattle has decided to close schools for over 2 weeks. And, of course, this new disease is spreading everywhere. And expect more business and school closures ahead all over in the United States and the world. Meanwhile, yesterday, there was a Harvard doctor who came out and said that this new virus is much less deadly than, of course, it's being officially claimed. Telling people not to hoard masks and food, but to figure out how to help seniors and the immune compromised during this time. Specifically talking about how there's a large number of people who are untested. Again, we were exactly talking about this yesterday, and how the death rate is most likely smaller than the 3% originally reported, since of course many people aren't being tested and have this new disease. And while some people are telling us to remain calm, others are raising the alarm bells, and some other doctors are warning that this pandemic is moving too quickly and that we still don't know the exact death rate, and that it could actually be higher than, of course, originally reported to be the 3.4% that we talked about yesterday. And again, just like I've been saying from the very beginning, there's still new information coming in. There's still people learning new things about the virus that they didn't know beforehand. But some of the things that people are finding out is that this virus does attack the central nervous system, that this is a virus combination of SARS and AIDS that in some cases causes irreversible lung damage and damage to other human organs. And this is why some countries, including Spain, have been documenting successful cases in helping people recover from this new disease with HIV medications that stop this deadly virus from replicating in humans. Again, we also reported similar cases in Vietnam using similar methods having success, and we reported this 2 weeks ago to you. And this is why many doctors, scientists, and epidemiologists are saying that there is evidence suggesting that this virus was actually man-made and came from a bioweapons lab facility, which again, strong evidence suggests that is the case here. Other scientists in South Korea are having very successful rates in treating this virus with, of course, vitamin C, but you can't share that on Facebook because they'll censor that information. But still, this is a brand new disease, a brand new virus that is mutating and becoming very difficult to handle. And of course, the cases from here will grow, as I believe the burden of responsibility is, of course, on the Chinese government that knowingly lied and engineered a cover-up of the information rather than deal with this new virus. And China is still censoring a lot of information, and it's very difficult to get any legitimate verified photos and videos coming out of China right now, as even officially sanctioned facts about the coronavirus are being censored. More flights are being canceled in and out of China, specifically from Beijing and Shanghai, as the country is predominantly in a standstill, with even a major decline in pollution because many of the factories are not open. So the Chinese government is using Uyghur Muslims and people in re-education camps to fill those factories with, of course, their slaves that they have in their country. But yet, out of all of that, surprisingly, we don't hear much about that in the mainstream media. Surprisingly, Donald Trump and many other world leaders are congratulating China on such a great response to this, when in reality, I mean, when you run a cover-up instead of dealing with the crisis, you make the crisis worse. And again, this will only get worse from here as more travel will be limited, more schools will be shut down, more businesses won't be able to operate. Most factories in China, that a large portion of the American people are dependent on their slave-made goods, won't be coming in. And things will get worse from here, specifically economically, and specifically if more people panic. The best way not to panic is, of course, to be prepared. And this is what people are doing, as of course water, rice, hand sanitizer are being sold out all throughout the country. Costco is even telling its customers in New York City that there will be a limit on the amount of water and rice that they could buy. And one of the reasons why the world doesn't know what's going on is because they've been getting inaccurate information from the Chinese that, of course, I mean, how can you trust people who rewrite the Bible and the Quran in order for more people to worship the government? That's literally what they did. They changed the Quran and Bible so people worship government more than they do religion. So yeah, as all of this develops, there's a lot of speculations, there's a lot of theories, but again, things will get worse economically here, and hopefully with the end of cold and flu season, we will also see a big decline in the numbers of cases about the coronavirus. We can only hope that that happens, especially with better weather at hand, which hopefully correlates to this virus not expanding as it has aggressively done so in major cities. That, of course, is rendering them to be almost like ghost towns. So yeah, definitely keep eyes out on the economic effects of this. I do believe they will be the most severe first, as many industries, including the tech industry, the auto industry, and many others will be hit significantly here. The airline industry, the travel industry. And again, even when you look at this new virus, the cold, the flu, they're nothing compared to, of course, obesity, heart disease, car accidents, slipping and falling, and all the other things that are not as juicy to talk about and don't render that much panic in people. Since, putting a fork with GMO, fake processed crap into your mouth hole is not as, sensational or hot as, of course, dying from a pandemic plague. But yeah, when you really look at it, the crap that you put in your mouth, that's a more significant threat against humanity. Could be why we have so much massive sterilization happening right now, amongst other issues. And again, no, I'm not downplaying this virus. Again, I still believe everyone should be prepared, everyone should be smart, everyone should be taking precautions. But most importantly, I don't believe people should fear and panic, but they should prepare. And that's my official take on it. You might think I'm wrong, and that's okay. Let me know why you think I am wrong in the comment section below, and I promise not to read your comment if it's over an hour, because I usually answer the comments the first hour that a video's out. I like to, be a part and to talk to people, especially the people who watch the video first. So if you want to be a part of that conversation, click the subscribe button, click the notification button, and I promise to do my best to answer all your comments within the first hour. Other than that, thank you so much, so much for allowing me to do this. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.